Hello everyone, welcome to hotdotnews and my name is Diana. Today we are welcoming our dear guest, co-founder and CEO of Phala Network, Marvin Tong. Hello Marvin, pleased to meet you. Recently we have noticed that there are many positive news about Phala Network, so we have prepared some questions for you.
Hi Diana, hi. I'm Marvin Tong, and the founder and CEO of Phala Network. So I guess you guys can see me online, always hiding my eyes with something. This is because our team is very privacy focused. So glad to meet the community, and thanks to the PromoTeam channel for this interview. So we can start with some questions, please.
So first we would like to know about yourself and your team. I'm quite curious about your name, Phala. What does it mean? Does it have some special meaning, and why did you start to build confidential smart contracts?
Phala in Hindu, in India language means the result, and it's not the result only for the result. It means that if there is a certain income, there will be a certain output. So it is quite like things happening on blockchain. So we want to make sure the things will definitely happen when it gives the certain input. That's why it's called Phala. It means the result. And another word compared with Phala is karma. And karma is more familiar with global word, so everyone knows what karma means. So Phala means the result of karma. So this is the way you can understand this confidential smart contract blockchain, on which you can develop confidential, preserving, and privacy-first blockchain apps. So we are also a member of Substrate Builders Program. We are also winning some grants from Web3 Foundation. So we want to be a Parachain of Polkadot, so that we can free the privacy computing power of countries to the CPU to provide a confidential preserving function to all blockchains.
So why did you start to build a confidential smart contracts?
So it's a longer story for us. Our team is actually founded in 2018. So that's when we realized the Web3 ecosystem of smart contract, open and transparent, which was obviously a huge barrier to the decentralization of many applications. For example, we in 2018, EOS, which built by Block 1 and Ethereum, is very popular. There are many developers building dApps on that. But after that, we found out that you can't do many things to build whatever you want on EOS or Ethereum. The traditional internet developers can't fit all their version on this kind of blockchain. So we decided to build a layer 2 for EOS or Ethereum. But then we found out that Polkadot and Substrate is a much more perfect block stack for developers. So we decided to make it happen on Polkadot. Me and Hong In, the other founder, we are friends long ago, and we both joined some big companies of internet after we graduated and working long. So that we have much experience in building apps and building services in the Web 2 way, and we know how to build a good production. But we think Web 3 is much more bigger version and much more better for the human future. So we decided to jump in this career.
And that's what my next question is about. So how is Phala development going? I know you got 2 grants, pLIBRA and W3A. Could you share more details about the development?
Yeah. So so we got a lot of progress since we started in Substrate and Web3 Foundation's help. We started building our the blockchain in our white paper, the architecture, since since June 2019, and that's when we decided to use Substrate to build a new chain for Phala Network. So it's just like 12 months and ago. So we just use a year but we have already finished the most part of the mainnet code. That is a very, very fast way in protocol developing. It's really hard to feel directly how the protocol goes. So we also building some application layer above Phala Network so that developer and internet users can feel the benefit from Phala Network. Yeah. So for now, in this year, we already launched our POC 1 stage network testnet in March, and we also launched our POC 2 stage testnet. We call it Rorschach. A Marvin hero, and we launched this testnet in I think it's in June. Yeah, so it went well and it's totally decentralized network. And in the next stage, for example, in this month, we will launch our 3rd stage testnet to test the core part of Phala Network. That means every TEE equipment can register on our network very freely, and so the network computing system will be totally decentralized, and we can try on our ecosystem mining so that we can be fully preparation for our pre-network. We also want to launch our pre-network in this year, so please look forward to that.
So you mentioned TE for several times. What is TE and what is TE miners? I see this words appearing in many of your docs, and you mentioned them for several times right now. Can you explain the meaning of that, just for us girls to understand?
Okay, cool. So TE is not a very new concept in computing. It's a concept and a production built in 2016. So the meaning of TE is trusted execution environment. It's a computing environment for executing code, in which those executing the code can have very high level of trust inside, and is all surrounded by this kind of environment, because it can ignore the threats from the rest of the device. For example, if we have TE inside, for example, an Intel computer, and the OS of this computer can't write the code inside the TE, so it's a much more safe environment for running executions. So, and because there are different CPU companies and made different standard for TE, so there is already Intel SGX and AMD and ARM Trust Zone. There are 2 to 3 standard very popular now, but I think Intel SGX is very ready for running actual business now, so in the first stage, Phala will use SGX as the first patch of TE standard. So that's what TE is. But I think there are more people in the crypto and Web3 world always consider about how TE could be useful for blockchain, right? So if there is some time, I can explain that.
Yeah, you also mentioned the Web3 analysis, and you said that it is like Google analysis. What do people make to leave Google and go to Phala? Give them the best advantages.
Yeah, that's another good question. Thank you. It's like a question that when we facing the VCs, if we want someone to invest in our team, and they may ask that, oh, Web3 analytics, is there any differ from Google? Why people want to transfer from Google analytics into Web3 analytics? So the very original reason we also built this application layer beyond Phala Network is that I want to start with two questions. The first one is, are the Web3 products necessarily decentralized? The second question is about, does the big data have to invade users' privacy? So some might say, especially European, they might say, okay, if we want to get more convenient, we need to sacrifice our privacy to some service, for example, Google, Facebook, to make them give TikTok, to make them have our own data, and they can suggest us to live a better life. I don't believe that shit, but I think if you want to have higher level of personal privacy, you can't have the benefit from the rich internet applications. So that's a problem before Phala Network, because we give a solution that we can combine with both convenience from the rich internet service built on big data, and also this kind of big data using can protect the privacy of all users. How does that happen? So we want to be able to provide access to low-cost analytic tools like Google Analytics, which is also able to help developers and enterprises to protect the privacy of users, as well as they're in GDPR and CCPA. That's how we want to build. So if you want to achieve this achievement, you need to hide the data in very public, and control the authorization of how people using this kind of data. There are like 2 or 3 solutions for that, but I think for now TE with blockchain is a perfect and a better performance solution for this. So, so that's why Web3 analytics is based on Phala Network, not in like zero knowledge or purely MPC technology, because ZK and MPC is not built for a very multi-parties data computing, but TE can do that. So Web3 analytics based on Phala Network you can imagine it as a decentralized Google Analytics author, which can aiming to give users full control of data, so that if you want to refuse someone or some request to using your data, you can say no. You can totally say no in any time. Maybe a button in the Web3 Analytics apps, and you close it, there's no one can access it anymore. So how does that work? That's running in Phala's confidential smart contract, so that it's very long-term smart contract and hiding your data leaks. So that's how it works.
Good. What is Darkpool on Kusama? How it works and who will use it in the future or now?
So, yeah. Web3 Analytics is one of our application layer trial, and there is another one. Is that in this year DeFi is like crazy. I don't get it, but apparently lots of people can get it. So we keep on tracking the news and keep tracking the process of decentralized world, and we realized one thing, that on DeFi, the one major difference between DeFi and CeFi is that on DeFi you have many benefits from blockchain, but for example, your access is very freedom, right? But one problem is that to get that, you need to sacrifice the trace of your money and the trace of your logic. For example, if I want to get payback from Curve, I need to stake my ETH in Compound and get some stable coin, and I use Curve to get more Curve coin, and I use Curve coin into IFI or IF2 to get more coins. So if there is opposite competitors of you, for example, you got lots of money, he can track you all of these actions on blockchain. That's very terrible. So I won't use it. So how can we be more safety for Polkadot and Kusama users in DeFi? I think one of the idea is a decentralized Darkpool. So what's a Darkpool? In traditional financial business, Darkpool means that there's no open book information in the open market. So it means that the price, the order book, the deals made, the one who made the deals, all of these tracks can't be seen on the open market, but it runs with verified way, with smart contract, with decentralized assets, and it's very simple to Ethereum smart contract. So you don't need to worry there's unfair in this market. So if you want to do that, it's also another very good use case for Phala Network's confidential smart contract. Well, the inputs, outputs, and the states are encrypted, but the execution can still be verified by anyone. So it allows users to trade with confidence, but without expecting any sensitive information. So yeah, that's all about it in Darkpool. I think the Kusama community like this idea very much because it totally show the difference between the valuation and between the valuation of cross-chain, and it shows that so it shows perfectly in some way that Darkpool can show the valuation from Polkadot different than Ethereum. Yeah.
You said recently in whitepaper that in the next round of airdrop will be related to DOT. How do you plan it, and how can we participate? What we will get from that?
Yeah, so yeah, it's very Polkadot fans related question, and yeah, it's very reality. So you know, first of all, to be a Parachain or Kusama or Polkadot, any Parachain need to win a position in the first batch of Parachain slots. So if you want to get a slot from Polkadot or Kusama, you need to the community need to support the Parachain with their DOTs, KSM, and staking for a year or two, and get maybe their native token as reward. So that's why we have our first airdrop is very direction to Kusama community in this year, and it makes very successful. And our another round of like a token release is very aimed to IPO slot auction, initial slot auction. So if it's an IPO, so any user or holders of DOT or KSM are simply lending their tokens to a team in a period of time in order that we can win a Parachain slot. So this is much safer and is much more fair than, you know, other ways of token releasing, for example SCO or IEO. I don't like that. So in word saying, both Parachain and users can bid for the slots. Users can choose which projects to their support and how much and how long they want to lock their DOT or KSM for them. And the second thing is the earlier the better if you want to make a bid. So so that we Phala Network, we prepare to join the auction as the first batch of Kusama slots in the first year, and we will join the Polkadot slot auction for the second year of the period. The whole period is 2 years. So for Kusama, we want to give some part of our Phala token to the contributors, to the ones who stake for us, and Polkadot too. So it's lots of Phala token. The whole percentage might up to like 6% of the 1 billion tokens. So keep focus on Phala Network news, and we will announce the project as soon as we can if Polkadot IPO have an exactly timeline.
As you said, the very important part of the success is the community. So can you tell us stories of some important persons in your community, those who make the important contribution?
I think the PromoTeam have already made a great contribute for us, and we have separate campaigns for the for the community. For example, we have spokesman campaign for the one who can help marketing and branding Phala Network, and we also have we also have a campaign that the volunteers running the community as MOD can win some reward from Phala Network. So our token economic in the very beginning, we are very different from other cryptos and blockchains. We held 80% for the community, just 5% for the teams. So there are multi ways to win Phala token in without any money. For example, you can be a TE miner. If you got Intel SGX in your CPU, you can use your equipment to be a miner, to register on Phala Network, to running some privacy computing task, and you can win some reward all the time. So this is the best way. We have 70% token for these TE miners. This is this is crazy. Some of our investors said, we are crazy. We give so much money for free, but this is how the community matters in our heart. And the second way to win, Phala with no payment is you can be a validator or or fishman in Polkadot in the future maybe. But if you be a validator of Phala, you can stake as a very little Phala, and you can let the community stake for your node, and you can win Phala for free. And for the near months, for example, this year, we have made several campaigns to help the people learning and earning for Phala for free. For example, in every stage of our testnet, testnet 1, testnet 2, testnet 3, we always have winning campaigns for people who want to make a trial or playground in our testnet. We have lots of tokens being distributed in this way. And as I said, Spokesman and MOD is also a good way for contributors running the community to get our token. And after our mainnet launch or pre-net launch, we will have a governance. If you have a governance, you will have a treasury, because the network itself takes some risk from the mining system. So all the token will be income into the treasury by decentralized governors. So if you get any ideas, you can apply for the governors just as Polkadot did. And in the last, I have to repeat one important way. That is, use your KSM or DOT, hold it, and join in the international Parachain offering and support Phala Network to be a Parachain of Kusama and Polkadot. You will get very great reward from Phala Network.
Nice to know. For several times you mentioned that the main feature of your company is privacy, and I know that you value privacy. But recently I heard that Chinese government is implementing a health QR codes to know where did every human go. Also, I know that Google and Apple developed the same app which works in the similar way, and it's been questioning for invading privacy of a person. So what do you think about this?
This is a fresh question about our values, what our team values. So we are not a team who want to earn something from the Web3. We want to build a bridge between Web3 into Web2. I personally hate Web2, all the apps or apps or services, because I think it's controlled by big companies and of course the government. So in my opinion, in the epidemic situation, I think blockchain plays the role of enhanced tracking. So although blockchain itself help to free your assets, free your freedom to write any code, and people can believe the law on chain, but the technology for now is a double-edged sword. It does not cooperate with the law. So during this COVID, I think there are more human lively data is leased to the governors for to forbidden COVID virus. But I like the article very much. is named the world after coronavirus. It's written by Yuval Noah Harari. He concerns that the epidemic will celebrate the governor's intensification of technologies, which is likely to continue the post-epidemic era. Such a deployment process is actually quite justified. This is exactly what need to be vigilant and worried about. So in fact, there are many leaks of COVID in global world for now, and I'm not saying because of privacy concern we shouldn't collect every data and to help prevent the the COVID virus. But according to some measures taken by Apple and Google, as you just mentioned, we think that it's quite possible to track the data and to help the governors to fight with the virus and keep people's privacy safety in both ways. So, for example, let me say it again. I think Web3 Analytics like data SDK can totally help this. You can check if you have contact with someone with the virus and you can't leak the original data, for example, where you did, where you go, in any way. So because the data is encrypted, and the only way to encrypt it is in TE through by confidential smart contract on Phala Network. So in this way, we can win both. So yeah, this is what I thought about your question. Thank you.
So we have two more questions prepared for you. So the first one is about your personal plans. What are your plans when Parachain, when Polkadot, when
The Parachain schedule actually totally depends on the timeline of Polkadot and the Kusama team. So, but we have our exactly plan for the things we can control. For example, we will launch our testnet 3-stage as for TE manners to try our ecosystem and to try the TE computing decentralized version. And this testnet will launch in a month. And after this, if we think everything is okay on the blockchain side, that's when we will set up a blockchain. We name it as a pre-network before the main network, but it holds like all the basic version of the mainnet. So people can, but it's still using Phala, the mainnet token. So we can promise that all the assets on this pre-network will be allowed and will be claimed and transferable in our mainnet, but the data of this pre-network could lose if there is no one running on it anymore. So this can fill the gap between our development process and the Polkadot slot auction launching time. So after Polkadot and Kusama slot auction launching, we will jump in and win the slot immediately. We have do our fully preparation, not only in technical side. On technical side, we already run our local Rococo testnet to try and bridge the to try and make Phala Network as a Parachain, and we also have fully preparation in economic side. We need enough token, and our market of Phala is very stable, and it's and we can for example, we can have a strong community back us. So we think we can get the first batch of the slots if Polkadot launch the slot auction. That's the plan this year. And besides all the protocol layer, we also have a very small team doing preparation for Web3 Analytics and Darkpool or Kusama and the PLIBRA bridge, which all be funded, sponsored by Web3 Foundation. So these three major production is our application layer, so that we can promise there is some guy using Phala Network is not no developer protocol. It's a protocol with many kinds of privacy-based applications. Yeah, so that's the answer, Diana.
Thank you. And as for me, if I want to get the tokens of Phala, how can I do that?
You can be a TE miner, you can be a Phala validator, and you can join the testnet campaign to win different stage testnet challenge. And you can contribute for the community as a MOD or as a volunteer or as a translate and a spokesman. You can get the token in these ways, and you can also use KSM and DOT to support us in IPO for Phala Network to get a slot. And this is very many ways to win Phala token with no money. And if you want to hold it without these ways, you can always get it on Huobi, MXC, or Uniswap, or Bbox and Hotbit. There will be more and more exchanges listing Phala token. Yeah.
So thank you, Marvin. That's all questions for today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for such detailed answers. And it was really nice to meet you and to listen to all of that. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you too. Thank you for the promo team and you. Then your questions are great actually. So give the chance to to tell people what we are doing, and yeah, you always contribute a lot to Polkadot ecosystem. So it's a really great campaign for you guys. Thank you very much.
This was an interview with Marvin Tong, CEO and co-founder of Phala Network. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comments, and the best question will be rewarded. And see you soon, guys, on hotdotnews. Bye bye.